Hello, all my friends in TV land. This is Senior Issues, etc., and I'm your host, Vita Verdon. Now, this is the first show of starting, I can hardly believe it, I can hardly say it, 15 years. The time has just flown by. It seems like we just started yesterday. And what I want to just thank God for is you out there, the audience. That's number one. If I didn't have an audience out there, we wouldn't have this show today, because you watched us starting 15 years ago. Now, when we started on September 19th, the year 2000, we had 3 communities. To date now, we have included about 81 communities. So we have grown. And we're not young, we're older seniors, but we thank God that we're alive. We thank God that we can put on, we've got a good show. I'm lined up. I'm booked until after the first of the year. This is going to be our best year ever. And as I've done for several years now, my first show of every season is The Crew. And that is outside of, first of all, we need an audience. If I didn't have a crew, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Right.
And I like for everybody out there to see this isn't put together with Scotch tape and leftover S&H greed stamps. This is put together by people like you and me who have come and volunteered. We're a group of 12 volunteers, and we put our time and our heart and our energy into this. So I'm going to introduce you to them and let them speak for themselves. To my right over here is my right arm, Gloria Shapiro, who is the producer of the show. Right. And this is your time, baby, shine.
Well, I'm excited about that we've been here this long, and that, you know, they have all these different studies, Department on Aging. We're the Department on Aging. We came here 15 years ago, and we're still here, and we're showing what is possible in aging, that it's still possible that you may be retired, but you're not retired from life. And so we continue, and what I've been thinking about a lot is democracy, and that we are so blessed to live in a democracy. But democracies only work if every segment of the population is doing their job. So as we get more and more information, and we are able to give this information out,
give it out for what?
As we give this information out to the society, we are blessing the society, because the rest of society is going to age too. Exactly.
Because we're educated.
And we're showing that, you know, the more you use your little gray cells, the more you take care of yourself, mind, soul, and body, the better it is for not only for you, but for the society at large.
Because if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
If you don't use it, you're going to lose it. So,
do you want to let our friends out there know how old you are?
Oh, absolutely. I'm 84 years old, and I've never been this old before.
And we don't.
And I don't quite know what to do all the time. But I was thinking, you know, the more information we get, we're voters. We are our grandparents. Some of us are great grandparents. We are educated. We are aware of what's going on in the world, and we have a contribution to make. And we are volunteers. And one other thing I wanted to say is that one of the reasons this show is as good as it is by the crew itself that will come here. Many people on our crew have come here aching with their hip that isn't totally healed, aching that they're just getting out of maybe a hospital, aching in a lot of different ways, but they show up and they are dependable and really show what is possible. Even though you may be aging, you're still a human being with dedication and are valued.
It's when you put your will to something,
Good.
you can make it work. And you
Right.
really can put a lot more things together. And truly, you know, the saying, the best is yet to come.
Right.
That is for real, because when we have a project that we're working on, that energizes us. It is through
Absolutely.
that energy, and we draw energy from each other.
Absolutely.
Now, to Gloria's right, you'll see a nice, good-looking guy, and we're going to find out, you know, this good-looking guy, he has such a strong will. This last year, what happened to him, he went to the store and he fell down. You know, unbeknownst to him, he had broken his hip. But you know, that strong will, he still got into his car and drove himself, and then he realized, hey, what's going on? I got a broken hip, I can't get out of the car. So he drove to a friend's gas station.
Right, yes.
I might as well tell you what his name is. It's not blank. His name is Larry Phillips.
Right.
We're so happy to have him. He is a man with determination, and he has such a good attitude. Now, you drove to your friend's, whether it's his garage or something,
Yes, his garage, yes.
and you told him you couldn't get out of the car, right?
Waved to him and told him to come out and to call the rescue squad because I couldn't get out of the car. So then I ended up in the hospital, and I was operated on, and then I went to a place for therapy, which I enjoyed very much. They were very good to me. And I spent about only a month in there because I did so good with therapy. They kicked me out of there. They didn't really kick me out, but anyhow. So I'm still walking with a cane a little bit, and I hope to get rid of it in another week or two. And that's about it. So.
Well, then to remind people not to put their hearing aid in the microwave.
What?
That's another one of his things.
Yeah,
You know what? He told me the story that he went into the shower with his hearing aids on, and that's a no-no. And so to dry him off, he put them in the microwave. And
That's
you
another
don't
no-no.
bake hearing aids.
Yeah. So I finally got some new ones, so I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
Now, Larry's is in his high 80s. How old are you?
I'm 88 years old.
You're 88 years old, but
Yeah.
this isn't his only volunteer job. He also is a very active member of the Kitchen Clangers
Right.
that plays all around.
Right.
So he keeps that new hip moving, and he keeps himself going.
Good.
So you see, it is possible.
Right.
And now, if you have any ideas for the show, or if you want to volunteer for the show, what you can look up is on our website, seniorissues, etc., and my telephone number. I'd be glad to hear from you. Now, this next gal, I think I've told you on several occasions that we didn't meet, but we got to exchanging information in a hot tub at the Center Club in Gurnee. And in this hot tub, we formed a friendship of all places, but it must have been hot enough to stick because she's been with us for several years. And she's an interesting retired teacher with very talented children.
That's right. In fact, I met Vita when
Judy Ward, I meant to say her name.
I met Vita when I was getting ready to have a knee replacement. And I had retired from teaching. I taught for 24 years, California, Alaska, Florida, Wisconsin, Illinois, and also I spent 8 years in Germany, and had a wonderful time traveling around the world. So I also I'm at Community Bible Study every Thursday in Libertyville, and that's one of my highlights, one of the highlights of the week, besides being at Senior Issues for volunteering.
And she has been a faithful member of our crew, you know, for how many years is it now?
This is 8 years. This
About
is the
8 years.
8 years, right? And my husband and I have 2 daughters. One daughter lives in Frankfurt, Germany. She's a musicologist, and the other daughter lives in
I got it.
Humboldt Park with her husband.
And whether she's feeling good or whether she's not feeling good, she still comes in, and she has that embedded in her. You know, we're a group of believers here, and we believe the show must go on, and the show does go on. Now, you know, I wanted you to meet all the crew and see all the crew. They're just like you out there. If you want to come and be a part of us, you know, we want you to let us know. And I have, you know, a lot of things coming up, but if you have some new ideas and ways that we can try something, I'm telling you, we're game for just about everything. And Gloria, now how many years have you been with the show?
15 years.
Yeah, we started in a small studio in Industrial Park, and at that time, this was before Comcast, before AT&T. It was a small cable company called Jones Cable. And Jones Cable is the one that approached, because what I was doing was volunteering at the senior center and doing like a variety show, which Jones Cable was filming. And through the filming, they found out demographically that there was an audience. So they said, as long as you have an audience, at that time, the seniors were just coming together that were living a longer time. And so here we are, 15 years to reproving the theory. And when we started, the seniors were a minority, but now we've come into the majority. Now, don't go away. We're coming right back with the rest of the crew. Stay right there. Keep it right on this dial. Love ya. Hi, we're back, and I want to introduce you to the rest of the crew, and I wanted to give you a little bit more information about us and where we came from. We're considered to be a 501c3, and what that means, we're a non-for-profit charitable production company. We had these papers filed. It took us about a year to get certified back in the back when we started in the year 2000, and we got certified in 2001. And we had to fill out all these papers to get it done. And what we did is we made a mission statement. And in our mission statement, one of the goals of this show was to give voice to the voiceless and to educate people. Because whether anybody out there realizes it or not, we realize it. We're the first generation that has lived this long because of the advancement in medicine, because of technology is so expanded, and because God has allowed this. So we don't have a blueprint or a generation ahead of us telling us, hey, this is how you act in your 80s. Hey, this is how you do something. You never do it before. So we've kind of creatively stumbled our way through it, and I'm going to give ourselves a pat on the back and the crew a pat on the back and you a little hug out there for having the common sense to tune into us and to see, oh yeah, you know, I could still do things at this age. So where our inspiration coming to you, that remember, it doesn't matter what your age is, that you have gifts that have been put on you before you were even born, that you're born into this world with. And you have to exercise those gifts. You have to use that mentality. You have to use your vitality. And in using that, it's better to give than receive. You can enrich yourself and enhance yourself. I want you to meet the rest of our vital crew. This good-looking guy to my right is Joe Pasalagua. You know that? We kid about it. Pass the water. Is it pass the bucket of water or just pass the water?
Yeah, just pass over the water.
And Joe's been with us for quite a while. As a matter of fact, it's due to his handyship that we have this sitting in front. He is very handy with his hands. He also has a string of antique cars that he does a marvelous job on reupholstering, and he was a photographer at one time. So and he's also a part of the kitchen band. So he's got his fingers and his heart in a lot of different areas. So, Joe, why don't you talk to our audience out there and give them some pearls of wisdom about yourself and whatever you want to blab about now.
Well, right now, I belong to the American Legion and the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Uh-huh.
I landed in Omaha Beach in Normandy.
Uh-huh.
They're going to make a documentary on me for the Congress,
For the wall?
No, for Washington, D.C. on the...
Oh, for Washington.
Yeah.
Now, who's going to do the documentary?
It's going to be done at the Waukegan Courthouse.
Okay, but who's going to be filming it?
It's not going to be filmed. It's going to be a talk, you know, more of a documentary.
A CD, like?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And they're going to, it's going to be in the Library of Congress.
Oh, it'll be in the Library of Congress. Yes. Oh, that's quite an honor.
Well, yeah, they want to know what happened, you know, during the war years, World War II. So that's kind of interesting.
I know that I watch it often on television. And they give the number of World War II vets that are left, and it's getting it to be a dwindling number.
Yes, it is.
I know you yourself are 90 years old.
Yes, right.
And so that's quite an honor. When will this be done?
In November 11th. That's on Memorial Day. So
on Memorial Day, it's going to be, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
No, November 11th isn't Memorial Day. That would be Veterans Day.
I'm sorry.
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Right. That's November 11th.
11th, right.
Oh, that's very nice. Now, I know you're also a member of the kitchen band.
Right.
And you're also, you have how many antique cars?
I've got 5 antique cars right now.
You want to tell our audience what kind of cars you got?
Yes, 1912 Model T.
Uh-huh.
I use it in parades in Libertyville and Mundelein and so forth. And then there's a 1914 that I've had since 1947.
Uh-huh.
And a Model A.
Uh-huh.
And 2 Model A's.
Uh-huh.
A 1930 Sport Coupe and a 1931 four-door. And I just bought a Speedster.
Oh, and a little Speedster.
Yeah.
How nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to move on now. And now this good-looking, she's the baby of our crew, I believe, because we celebrated her 67th birthday. And I tell you, she has a heart of faithfulness. She had a hip replacement this last year, and she came in faithfully with that. And she's just a recent widow. Her husband passed on this year, and she's been very brave about it. And she's a very creative gal, and we're going to find out. Sharon Klisch is her name, and she's going to tell us what she's going to tell us.
Oh, yes. Yes. June 16th, I lost my husband. He passed away in the family room. And it's kind of difficult. Tomorrow will be 3 months that he's gone.
Uh-huh.
And that's the 3rd death in my house. I lost my dog last year, and I took my little kitten, who was only 7 years old, to have her teeth cleaned, and she flatlined in the veterinarian's office. And
now, how long were you married?
Oh, married. I was married I knew Don 46 years, and we were married for 40. It would have been 41 coming up this September 29th.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
So you were
a lot
married
of
for
years.
a long time.
Yeah, the only one who knows me longer than my husband is my sister.
Uh-huh.
And the rest of the family, almost everyone's gone. Everyone's gone.
Uh-huh.
I have no children to throw a kiss to or, you know, anything like that.
Uh-huh.
So.
Well, I know you're active with your Bible study.
I am.
And she has
still.
a huge, gorgeous home in Gurnee.
I'm also a doll collector. I don't think you've ever seen my collection.
Well, I've seen some of them when
you?
I was over there. I saw there was a big one that greets you as you come in that was sitting in the living room. When did you start on your doll collection?
My mom started me out when I was at the age of 5, at the 5 and 10.
Uh-huh.
We'd pay 25 cents a week, maybe $1 a month. We'd
They're
put it on
probably
layaway.
worth $100 now.
I sure hope so.
Or
Because
more.
now I'm not collecting any longer. Now I'm just looking to get them together and try and sell them.
Well, how many dolls do you have in your collection?
Oh gosh, hundreds, a couple of hundred at least.
A couple hundred?
At least.
And how many cats do you have?
I just have 2 left.
You just have 2.
Yeah, and one is he's a little sickly now.
Uh-huh.
Beige cat, beautiful blue eyes, a little stinker though, and a little black one. He's only about 9.
And I know that that she's just recently a widow, but I happened to have gone to the funeral of her husband, and it was one of the loveliest funerals I ever went to. And then, man, that food at the White Eagle. It was like a wedding. It just kept on coming and coming and coming. But she's good at this administration, planning things, and she planned it from her heart, and she down to the last detail. She didn't leave anything. Sometimes you go to a wedding or to a funeral, and you could feel the tension, and you could feel that it wasn't thought out. You didn't feel that on that. So I really respect her for doing this. And it was an honor guard funeral. He was a veteran. Her husband was a veteran. So they did have, I like that whole system they do of the folding of the flag. It was so nice.
Very sad.
And so I was happy to be a part of it.
Thank you.
Now, the last guy on the far right of me, he's our celebrity of the group. He's our celebrity his name is Art Kick, and he is actually a native of Libertyville. He's been there his whole life. And he was voted into the Hall of Fame. He was voted into for Lake County. It's the Hall of Recognition. He's a member of the Senior Council. So he is our celebrity of the group. So Art, do you want to tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
I don't think I'm a celebrity. I've been on the show. This is the 6th year I've been on this show. I enjoy it very much, and I'm still on the show because I think it is a viable, worthwhile thing for everybody in the community and surrounding area. So I think that's good. I had 3 children. My wife passed away. It's been 11 years ago. I have 7 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren, all of them in the area. All of them take very good care of me. So I think I'm very fortunate in that respect. I'm not quite sure how I got on the senior council or anything else, but it seemed that I got there somehow. But
well, you have a lot of wisdom, and you can work through problems, and you must have something to be voted into all these places. I think that you're stayed, that you've been in Libertyville, and somebody could count on you, and I think that's a really good quality to have. So we come back to you, the audience out there. Now, with you, I feel I've met a lot of you as I go about Lake County and go to the different affairs, and you come up and introduce yourself if you ever see me, because I do live in the Libertyville area. And if you go to the website, as I say, as you go on the first page, you can click down and there's a link. You can get into the shows. And our website is seniorissuesetc.org. And my telephone number is area code 847-573-1233. You have the freedom to call me and discuss any of the issues that you want to discuss. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know everything yet, but if I don't know something, I certainly am willing to direct you to an organization or an area that they could help you, because through the last 14 years, that going into our 15th year, we have gathered a lot of information. And I myself have learned so much with it, as the crew tells me all the time. I learn on the show. I've picked up information. I picked up a dentist on the show. I picked up this on the show. You know, I picked up that on the show. And that's what it's all about. So if you have something, information you want to pass on to us, or information that you want to draw from us, what we want you to do is to contact us, because this show has been designed to educate our audience out there, because we are the first generation that is living this long. So you might as well say that we're making history at this time as a corporate group. And as a corporate group, what we want to leave behind is a legacy to those that are coming after us, to know, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you live longer. And they can stretch it into a longer realm. You know, if you go back in the Bible, Noah worked on the ark for over 100 years. So there was longevity of life. So maybe we're stretching it into what's happening right now. And our world is filled with so much dismay with the terrorists, but as a believer and as an active person, you have to put your faith in something. So look up, don't look down. And when you look up, you know, the best is really yet to come, and trust in that. You know, trust in God with your whole heart. So as a show, what we want you to remember, that we have the shows that are coming up. The next show coming up is Willard Helander, and Willard Helander is the clerk of Lake County for voters, and she's going to talk about voting, and she's going to talk about early voting. The show after that is going to be Dr. Sandy Goldberg from Channel 5, the nutritionist, and she has a foundation called The Silver Lining. Is for women who don't have money to get a mammogram, or if they have breast cancer, they will pay for it. And then the show after that, I have a sleep apnea doctor, Dr. Patel. And then the show after that, I have somebody from the VA services who's going to talk about Veterans Day. And then the show after that, I have a plastic surgeon, Dr. Mehta, and he's going to tell us about a surgical procedure that he used. So if you tune in and contact us. We want to have more contact with you. You can contact us in any form. You can email me at vitaverdon@netzero.net. At netzero, and zero is spelled out, Z-E-R-O, not zero, like that. But you know what time we've come to now? When you out there, you're the ones that I'm talking to, come to the end of your rope. You tie a knot and you hang on. You know why? Because the best is yet to come. And what we want you all to do this week is catch the Spirit of God. God bless you. We love you.